Outside of using the Appointment Center, you can actually schedule through one other method in SSC Campus, and that's going to be going through a student's profile page. The easiest way to access this is going to be use this quick search bar up here with the small magnifying glass. Once again, just like when you do down here a search, you'll want to use the 95 number. I'm going to use our test student that doesn't have a 95 number once again, so I'll click here. When that opens up, you're going to be able to see some basic information about the student's schedule, including their calendar, their student info, and some options of how to work with the student in terms of their SSC profile. Here, you'll want to click this Schedule an Appointment button. Now you'll see that the view is very different than the Appointment Center, and you actually have to make a few more selections as well. First, you have to select the care unit, which would in most cases be general advising, but for some of our offices or from some of our colleagues for things like residence life and financial aid, athletics, you might be searching or selecting a different care unit. In this case, again, you'll select your location just as you did in the Appointment Center. We're going to select the Advising Undergraduate Studies location because we know there's availability there. You can see right here the listed availability for appointments for drop-ins. Once you select a service, this view might change. If you have an advisor who is the only person who fulfills a certain type of service, let's say you have a certified counselor in your office who provides counseling, or only one advisor that does career advising, or a couple of folks, but not everyone does. Once you select a service, some of these folks is what they have availability for may go away. In this case, I know in the test site that what I've created these availabilities for is very limited. So limited that no one's going to show up as having availability after this. If everyone in your office serves similar advising roles, let's say everyone does academic advising or academic standing discussions, if you select that service and you notice that no one has any available times listed anymore, we'll show you how to proceed with that in just a moment. In this comments section, just like on the Appointment Center, you want to write what the student wants to talk about in more detail. And if the student is hoping to have a phone appointment, we recommend that you select that as the particular service here in this Services button, and then include the information about the appointment in the comments box. Always, when possible, getting a callback number in this comments box if it's possible to do so. So, student wishes to discuss an email they received about their academic standing. All right. So I'm going to select Megan Flanagan as the advisor to meet with. And right now, when you scroll down, you'll notice that there's not anything listed. And that's because Megan Flanagan doesn't have any availability for this particular service. But if you're following the protocols of your office and you're able to know that Megan does provide those services and she's not restricted based on certain times when she wants to provide those, you can then show all of Megan's availabilities. So if all advisors provide all services anytime they're available, you can do this. If you have an advising team or protocol in your office where folks provide different services at different times, you wouldn't want to use this Show All Availabilities button. You would only want to use Showing Availabilities for course or services. If you scroll down here, you'll be able to see when there are appointments available. You can select the day or week over on the left-hand side here. The nice thing about this view is that you see multiple days at a time. The thing that is different that you can't see is you can only look at the student's schedule along with one advisor at a time. So if nothing worked for Megan Flanagan and this student, you would then have to click a different advisor and see if there was anything matching there. So this is a great view to look at if the student has a particular advisor with whom they wish to meet, or if there's a particular advisor who's the only person that provides a service in your office, so that you can see multiple days at a time with that advisor. Typically, you won't see this many green boxes. Again, the student's schedule will be pulled in from Banner, and if the professional staff member has their schedule linked in, their schedule would cover some of these availabilities as well. So let's say they want to meet on Tuesday at 2 p.m. You can also create repeating appointments here, which you can't do from the other view. And you would then save the appointment. Once that's saved, it sends out a notification email just like it does from the appointment center. And the night before, they'll get a reminder email just like they would if you scheduled from the appointment center. So the positive things about scheduling from a student's page is going to be being able to see more than one day with a particular advisor. The negatives would be that you can't look at multiple advisors at once in the way that you can from the appointment center. In the notes below this video, we talk a little bit more about these options and some important things to keep in mind as you use the scheduling within SSC.